Flatwoods Monster. On September 12, 1952, three boys in the tiny West Virginia town of Flatwoods saw a reddish sphere move slowly around a hill, hover briefly, and drop behind another hill. From the other side, a bright glow shone as if from a landed object. On their way to investigate, the boys were joined by Kathleen May, her two young sons, their friend Tommy Hyer, 17-year-old Eugene Lennon, and Lemon's dog. The dog ran ahead of the group and was briefly out of sight. Suddenly it was heard barking furiously and, moments later, seen fleeing with its tail tucked between its legs. A foul-smelling mist covered the ground and caused the searchers' eyes to water. The two leading the group, Lemon and Neil Nunnally, who got to the top first, looked down and observed a big ball of fire 50 feet to their right. Another of the witnesses reported it was the size of a house. To the group's left, on the hilltop and just under the branch of an oak tree, were two small lights. At Mrs. May's suggestion, Lemon turned his flashlight on them. To everyone's considerable astonishment, the beam highlighted a grotesque-looking creature with a head shaped like the ace of spades, as several of the observers independently described it. Inside the head was a circular window, dark except for the two lights from which pale blue beams extended straight ahead. In their short observation of the creature, the group saw nothing that looked like arms or legs. The creature, which appeared to be over 6 feet tall, moved toward the witnesses. It seemed to be gliding rather than walking. Seconds later it changed direction, turning toward the glowing ball down the hill. All of this allegedly took place in a matter of seconds, during which Lemon fainted. The others dragged him away as they ran from the scene. A reporter went to the site with one of the youths about half an hour later. He noticed an unusual odor in the grass that irritated his nose and throat. Returning to the site alone the next morning, he found skid marks going down the hill towards an area of matted grass, indicating the recent presence of a large object. This encounter with what the press dubbed the Flatwoods Monster took place during a flurry of sightings of unusual flying objects in the area. One man told of seeing a bright orange ball circling over the area where the monster was reported. The object was visible for 15 minutes, before shooting towards the airport at Sutton, where it was also seen. After the event, Mr. William and Dana Smith, investigators associated with civilian saucer investigation, obtained a number of accounts from witnesses who claimed to have experienced a similar or related phenomena. These accounts included the story of a mother and her 21-year-old daughter who claimed to have encountered a creature with the same appearance and odor a week prior to the September 12th incident. The encounter reportedly affected the daughter so badly that she was confined to Clarksburg Hospital for 3 weeks. They also gathered a statement from the mother of Eugene Lennon, in which she said that, at the approximate time of the crash, her house had been violently shaken, and her radio had cut out for 45 minutes, and a report from the director of the local Board of Education, in which he claimed to have seen a flying saucer taking off at 6:30 a.m. on September 13th, the morning after the creature was sighted. After encountering the creature, several members of the September 12th group reported suffering from similar symptoms, which persisted for some time, and which they attributed to having been exposed to the mist emitted by the creature. The symptoms included irritation of the nose and swelling of the throat. Lemon suffered from vomiting and convulsions throughout the night, and had difficulties with his throat for several weeks afterward. A doctor who treated several of the witnesses is reported to have described their symptoms as being similar to victims of mustard gas, though such symptoms are also commonly found in sufferers of hysteria, which can be brought on by exposure to a traumatic or shocking event.